Joe Zikas from YoChicago.com. I'm at CA23 in the West Loop this morning, and I've just met Carol and Ricky.
Hi. Hi.
We're new homeowners. New homeowners?
Yes.
How new?
We signed the contract here just
about a month ago.
About the beginning of September.
Or the beginning of September,
We're currently on a home in Oak Park.
Okay, so where else did you look besides the West Loop?
Well, we looked in River North,
South Loop,
off of Michigan Avenue, Fulton Market area. But we really like the feel of the West Loop. We like the neighborhood, and that was probably one of the major factors for us looking.
Just curious, Oak Park is a very attractive community. Why move?
Well, we've owned our house for 28 years, and it's a lovely house, and we've done everything we could possibly do to it. And we do enjoy Oak Park, but we're getting to a point now where we want to travel more. Carol's retired, and I'm going to be retired in a couple of years, and we want to be able to go and travel and not have to worry about the house. We'd always talked about moving back down into the city. When the time came that we retired, there are so many things in the city that we love to do, and we want to be closer to them, and we wanted to find a neighborhood that it was easy to do that. We'd like to downsize our cars and be able to walk more and go to the attractions, the museums, the theater, and be right here. So that's the reason.
I had done more looking than Ricky. Being retired, I have that freedom to do that. I wasn't even sure that this was going to be the place when we started looking, but a lot of the areas we looked, for example, at Skybridge, and I don't even remember, but most all of the condominiums we looked at were kind of cookie cutter, you know, square rooms and space-wise not that great, and almost every one of them was, you could hardly tell one from the other. It was all the same thing, the granite countertops, the stainless steel appliances, you know, it just didn't vary.
The whole eternity of hardwood floors, stainless steel.
Yeah, and we being an Oak Parker, we have a lot of character in our house, and we just felt like a lot of the buildings that we looked at, it felt like a nursing home with a doorman, and we didn't want that. We wanted to be in a vibrant neighborhood with a variety of people, and when I came in here with our agent, I actually couldn't even ask any questions. I was just, my mouth dropped open, and I was like, wow. And I remember the comment I made to my realtor when we left. I said, am I crazy, or was that an awful lot for the money compared to what we had seen? And we liked the quality of it.
Had you looked, there have been some significant price cuts recently. Had you looked before the price cuts, or?
No, we looked at after the price cuts. But compared to everything else that we saw, you know, we loved the high ceilings, we liked the kitchen layout, the bathrooms were, you know, just the whole thing to us felt like this. It didn't feel small, and it didn't feel like we're in a apartment or a condo. This to us could be our home, and that's kind of how we looked at it.
Coming out of a home, what about storage?
Actually, not really that much of an issue. No. We've been, actually this place is a little bit bigger than our house, so we really don't feel that as a concern, you know. I think when you have kids, maybe you'd be concerned about it, but my children are grown, and grandchildren only come to visit. You know, so.
Was this a consensus, or did you debate this before?
Well, we debated, you know, because she saw it before I did, and when I saw it, I was very impressed. But we also liked a condo that we looked at in the Fulton Market area, but the Fulton Market area didn't feel to me like a neighborhood. It was those, you know, a cluster of buildings with the condos that was kind of plunked into the middle of all these big, you know.
It was like being in a canyon. With
like a canyon. It was surrounded by light industry and I don't know, businesses and things like that, and it didn't have the same neighborhood feel as this does here. So, but once I came here, really, I think we narrowed it down between the two areas. And I kept thinking about the fact that being able to start from scratch. Our house, when we moved into our house 28 years ago, obviously we didn't build that house. Our house is almost 100 years old. And we rented prior to that. I've never lived in a brand new structure before, where you have the ability to start from scratch and pick everything out the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the attraction.
Have you checked out the bars and restaurants on the corner here?
We had dinner a couple of weeks ago, just a couple of blocks down at Viaggio over here on Madison, which was fabulous. And we plan on checking out lots of the places around. So,
any words of advice that you think might be helpful to people who are out there looking today?
I would tell them to, if they're looking for something different, and they're seeing one condo after another that all are sort of the same thing with just a slightly different floor plan, that they better, they should come over here and take a look, because it's not only the fact that this was so amazingly thought out as far as the way that it was constructed, but there's so much potential for what you can do with each one of the rooms because of the high ceilings, because of the way everything is laid out. You have, I think, any number of ways that you can, that you can decorate, that you can design, ways that you can either use the furniture you have or, put something new in the space. But I think this is really cutting edge to me. This is totally different, and for the price, I don't think you can do any better.
I also think if you compare just the features of this to some of the others, there's a lot more. I felt that this was a good value for your money, and that's really important in today's market. Mm-hmm. So,
how was Belgravia to deal with?
They were great, and I have to tell you, the other place we were debating on, believe it or not, was another Belgravia, an older property where someone was selling, and we really liked it. And what it told me was, looking at the detail, the attention to detail that they did in the other place, which was built 5 or 6 years ago or 7, I can't remember now. And here, I felt comfortable dealing with them. I felt like they're obviously paying attention to what people want and a finished product. So that was really a very strong selling point for us.